Well, howdy. If I look a little different, it's because I'm trying out a new camera, so you'll have to let me know how it looks. So, it's been a little while since I've been out here. I think it's actually been about maybe a week since I filmed last. Last few times I've been out here have been a little crazy, a little stressful. I was just editing the last video and I noticed I didn't explain a whole lot of things at the end there, so I'll probably try and explain what's transpired in the last week and a half or so better in a future video. But right now we need to spray tonight because the weeds are getting a little crazy, so that's what we're gonna concentrate on tonight. I just need a ratchet strap for the front. Don't you fall on me. I need to remember what position that top link needs to be in, but I don't think I ever wrote it down. Nope, doesn't look like I wrote it. I want to say it was like in the top position though. These caterpillars are nuts right now. I was trying to unhook that planter and I swear there was like a caterpillar apocalypse walking towards me like zombies. So I think this might actually be in the right position right now. So I'm gonna just give it a try. And if we need to move it, we need to move it. You know what? I think I need to bring it down. Yep. You know, something is telling me it was in the bottom hole. I should almost go look at my video from last year because I'm pretty sure I had this in the video and I said which one I needed to be in. I think it's this one though. Really need to get those quick release bolts. Not that this is particularly slow, it's just so much easier to pull a pin and move it. And I'm gonna need that elbow too. That's right. Good enough. Well, would you look at that? I remembered something. It's gonna take a while. Can hold 40 gallons and I'll probably fill it right up to the top, because I'm thinking what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna prepare 40 gallons of a mixture of glyphosate and a surfactant. I'm only gonna spray part of the field today, because really only about half of the field actually needs to be sprayed. The other half that just got planted isn't doing too bad. I mean, last time I was out here wasn't doing too bad. It could be crazy with weeds right now, but I think I'm just gonna do half the field today. At least I can get rid of the worst of the weeds. So we'll see how the water pump's doing. Still a little leaky. Trying to give this area watering as well. What could be fun with my new camera here is it's one of those action cameras, so it's waterproof. Kind of want to take it down in the lake and see what I can find. Put it on a long pole and shove it down like 5-6 feet. Who knows, might be sunken treasure under there. Well, that's going to take a few minutes to fill up, so should we go for a little walk? Well, since we got a few minutes to kill, maybe I'll show you around the little implement yard here. I think I already showed this few videos ago, but this was the little cage that I used last year when I picked the corn. I filled this up, and then I have a little money lockbox on the front over here that people would put their money in and grab what they wanted. And my little sign, $5 for 13 years. Probably go with that again. And then we move on to my stump bucket. It's a CRI stump bucket. I'll have to give a review on all this stuff at some point. I think that'd make a good video. I've used it a decent amount. Uprooted some pretty decent trees. Seems to work pretty good. It's my nitrogen for the summer. Might be hard to see, but I got a drag harrow here in the weeds. It's probably blending in really good. Don't use it very often, but kind of handy. Then I have my my 3-point auger. Seems to be falling off its pallet. I'm sure if you're into any of this stuff, you'll know that everyone complains about that, and for good reason. Here I have, I think it's an 8-foot lawn rake. I actually bought that the first year I started doing all this. Bought it because I thought I was going to be able to rake up a bunch of the grass and chaff and weeds and stuff like that that I had tilled up the very first year. I thought it was a good idea. Actually never touched it since, so might actually end up selling that. Here's my grapple. Awesome machine. Used it here and there, mostly last year, but I think I'm going to be using it quite a bit this year too, because I got a lot of tree and brush and stuff like that that I want to try and clear up. So I'll be using that again. You'll be seeing that in videos. My box blade, I actually haven't really used this. I've used it more as a counterweight than anything. But the primary reason I bought this was I was planning on putting in a driveway and approach near the highway coming into the field. I wanted to put it in another one a couple years ago. But then I found out how much that costs, and that kind of got shelved for now. So, and the tiller, of course. I don't think I caught it on video, but that thing broke on me. The last time I was tilling, I was trying to make more room in the field, and I was about half done with tilling up what I wanted to till, and it just locked up dead, killed the tractor. I thought I hit a rock or something, so I lifted it up, disengaged the PTO, went back there, and looked to see if there was any rocks or anything bound up in there, and it wheeled kind of back and forth freely, but then it would hit a hard stop back and forth. So I was like, oh, that's not a good sign. I tried to engage it one more time. Nope, wasn't having it. So I'm guessing it's probably something in the drivetrain. It's a geared system. I'm pretty sure it's not pulleys. So I'm wondering if something in the gearbox here broke and it's just shot in there. Tried looking online to see if there was any replacement parts, but didn't have any luck the first time I looked. I might have to try and contact customer service on that. And moving along, we have my ATV blade. Only got about half a year use out of it, and I think I've realized that everything that I've tried in my driveway in town where I live, everything's too big. The only thing that really makes sense is my self-propelled snowblower, so I think that might just sit out here too for future use. And the planter, you know that. Oh wait, we got a few more over here. And here we have a lovely stump bucket. I think it's just the regular duty or light duty, whatever it's called, not the heavy duty one. And then I have my spreader. Hasn't gotten a terrible amount of use. Last year I used it, but this year probably not going to end up using it. And that might be all my implements. And of course the pallet forks that are on the machine right now. Well, let's go see what kind of progress we're making on the water. Yeah, I got a ways to go. We're losing a lot of pressure with that hose being punctured. I was in our bigger town a few days ago and I should have picked up a pressure hose for this thing, but just running out of time. I suppose I should calibrate how many gallons per minute this thing puts out again. I keep forgetting to write it down for future use so I don't have to do that over and over, but I think it says on here, but I've always just filled up a gallon bucket and timed it. Well, first thing we got to do is just make sure it still works. That's a good sign. Looking good. Well, the first thing I want to do is I want to figure out the application rate. I want to say each of these nozzles, I want to say each nozzle puts out a gallon per minute, but maybe it's across 4, it puts out a gallon per minute. That's why I need to check this again. All right, now I just need to turn it on for a minute and then figure out how much comes out of one nozzle, and then I can take that times 4 and that'll be my application rate. All right, stopwatch engaged. Okay, I'm thinking it was 1 gallon across 4 nozzles. That's what I'm thinking. Yeah, this isn't hitting the gallon for 1. We're halfway there. All right, that's a minute. So, let's see. We are looking at roughly 48 ounces, which is what, a third of a gallon? Is that right? 0.375, close enough. I'll just say a third of a gallon, so take that times 4. 1.5 gallons. All right, so I'm gonna assume this can put out 1.5 gallons in a minute. See, we're on the 35 gallon mark. We're a little short of 40, but I think it's gonna be fine. So now I need to figure out how much glyphosate do I add to 35 gallons to make it across 1 acre of field, or close to 1 acre of field. I think the total area is like 7/8 of an acre, something like that. Well, according to these calculations, I need to use 48 ounces for 35 gallons of water to cross 3/4 an acre. So I'm gonna go with that. So this nozzle, or this valve I should say, allows it to recirculate inside of itself. And this nozzle turns off, or this valve turns off the nozzles. So if I were to turn this one off, that turns the circuit off. And that should stop. Normally does. And if I turn this one on, then it sprays the nozzles again. Okay. So I'll need that to mix everything together once I get the chemicals in there. These are supposed to be extra large. I don't know about that. Seem a little tight. Let's bring you a little closer. So we need 48 ounces, which is one of these or 1.5 of these. See if I can do this one-handed. Don't think I want to stir this. I think it's just good to pour. Although I think I want 2 hands for this. Actually, I think the first thing we're going to do is add the surfactant. I think I'm going to do the 25% rate. We'll try that. So 11 fluid ounces. All right, I think I'll just hit 12 ounces. There. What do you say we get this brewing? All right, it's glyphosate time. Just needed half of this again. Just need 16 ounces. Don't want to spill that. All right. Now we just gotta let that mix for a little bit. That's not supposed to be leaking right there. Probably not a good sign. Well, it's been mixing for a few minutes. Guessing it's probably good. I think it's time to go up and start spraying. not sponsored. What do you say we take a look at the corn? Ooh, I can hear the neighbors rocking out over there. All right. Yeah, that would be, the tallest stuff is the first batch that I planted. Smaller stuff would be the second batch. And I'll explain that in a future video, what I mean by that, because I think I did a terrible job of explaining that the last time. Oh well, it's getting some pretty good height on that already. Yeah, I'm definitely getting some grasses coming up. Won't be long before I'm gonna have to spray for that. I was thinking about spraying today, but I honestly don't know how often you're supposed to use glyphosate. I've only ever heard like one application per season, but I need to look into that more because I'm gonna have to do 2 applications probably, but I'm just trying to avoid spraying it too much because I know, weeds can develop tolerance if you like use it a lot. So I don't know. Okay, so as you can see, we've got some nasty weeds coming in around the perimeter, which is not in the growing area, but I kind of want to keep this area as clean as possible because when the public comes in and is walking around in the field, I want them to, not have to walk through a bunch of weeds as well just to get to the corn. So I'm just going to try and hit the general area that I have tilled up here. Not the planted area, but just the weeds right here. And then I think we'll call that a night. Well, I gotta say, even though I calculated it wrong, it turned out pretty good in the end. I literally just got done spraying the weeded area, and it just ran out. I wasn't trying to do that on purpose, but I'll take it. Actually, what I was attempting to do is calibrate the sprayer and the speed and the application rate and all that for 3/4 of an acre so that I would do all the weeded parts today and then come in like a couple weeks later and just keep the solution in the tank and then use the rest of it on the planted parts. But I guess I'll take this too. I probably applied way more than I needed to on the weeds right now, but there's a lot of weeds out there, so maybe it's better that I did it this way and had a high application rate, because I should burn that stuff off real easy with this amount of glyphosate out there. So, well, I almost hate to say it, but today went pretty smooth. No real issues. I did calculate the application rate wrong, but technically it kind of worked out in the end. It used up all the solution in the tank, so now I don't have a bunch of water and glyphosate sitting in the tank for 2-3 weeks, so I'm gonna call that a win. Yeah, it went pretty well. I think what probably happened is I wasn't traveling fast enough, because I was supposed to be going about 2.6 miles per hour, and I checked it with just this little speedometer app I have on my phone, and it was saying it was jumping around from like 2.2 to 2.5, so I just kind of kept it where it was at. But yeah, I think it was probably a little inaccurate, and it was going a little slower than I probably should have been going, but oh well, I got it down. It'll kill off the weeds. That's all I really needed to do. Had a good day out here. I needed a good day out here. Had many frustrating days lately. So I'm gonna take this as a good day. Here's what the field's looking like right now. Hopefully in about 7 to 10 days, all this weed is gonna look nice and orange and yellow. Well, I've nearly run out of light, so I better call it quits. Thanks for watching. I think in the next video, I wanna change things up a little bit, kind of explain what I've been doing the last week and a half a little more in detail, so it's not so confusing. And maybe we'll figure out where we go from here. Catch you in the next one.